Hello, everybody. My name's Danielle Ralston. I am the CEO of Be Boss Girl. I'm also a business strategy coach, a mindset strategy coach, and a planning strategy coach. So, why do I separate the three things? They all very much go together, but they all also are very separate items that build on each other. So, I have been teaching planning strategies to business owners for over 25 years, and it's all about the strategy behind the planning. So I'm going to go through that real quick, but I'm going to talk about today mostly about how self care and meal planning go together. Most people look at me weird when I first start talking about that, but let's back up one step and talk about planning strategies. A planning strategy is a six-step thing. Busy moms, busy entrepreneurs, I promise this actually gives you back more time. So I tell my clients plan your plan to better utilize your plan, to better prioritize your plan so your plan is well planned. Plan is in there six times because there are six steps to effective planning, effective and very efficient planning. So, the first thing, get everything out of your head. Stop trying to remember things. If you are a mom, if you are a wife, if you are a dog mom, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a working woman, you need to get everything out of your head. Stop using your head to try to remember things. We all carry smartphones. Some of us still like to write things down. I always have a planner right next to me because I like to write things down by hand, but things end up in my smartphone often. Use the reminder app on your phone. Use your Google Calendar, use your iCalendar, whatever calendar you use, create reminder strategies for yourself. Never try to keep those things that you have to remember to do. Remember to pick up the dog, remember to pick up the cat, remember Bobby has baseball at 5 p.m. on Saturday. Whatever it is that you're supposed to be remembered to do, don't try to remember it, write it down. Once a week, brain dump everything out of your head. Everything that has to be done for the week, get it out of your head. That goes for everything single thing you do. So if you have to grocery shop, get it out of your head. Don't try to remember stuff. We all have Siris and Alexas and all of those things. Use those things. Those digital assistants are amazing. Siri, I am addicted to Siri. My husband says I talk to Siri more than I talk to him. I love it because it's what keeps me on track. So I own three businesses. You'll see up here in the corner is not your Pinterest mom. I focus on teaching women how to be better moms and stop trying to be a Pinterest mom. Again, not your Pinterest mom, so that you can effectively love being a mom, a wife, take care of yourself, and enjoy being you without all of the other million things that we do every day and have to look good doing. I give up. I gave up with doing that a long time ago. I have a 23-year-old, so I do know what I'm talking about. But make sure that you're taking the time to get all the things out of here. This is not for remembering. This is not for list making. Write it down on a piece of paper. Use Siri, use the Notes app, use the Reminder app, use Alexa, whatever it is you need to use to get it out of your head. But where you can look at it, manipulate it, and prioritize everything for the rest of your week, get that done. Once you get it out of your head, then prioritize it. What has to be done what day? How long is it going to take you? When? Who needs to do it? Again, I own three businesses, so I delegate. I'm the queen of delegation. My son, my husband, my OBMs. I have two OBMs and I have two assistants. So everybody gets things delegated to them. Maybe your assistant is Instant Cart. Instant Cart is a digital and an amazing assistant. Figure out what you need to do and how you need to do it. It really takes so little time. I spend maybe an hour a week planning all of that out. I actually do less now and have so much less to do because I took the time to prioritize, delegate where need be, my housekeeper, my instant cart, which is my grocery shopping assistant, um, and think about all of those things because you can make life so much easier. Mom tip, woman tip, entrepreneur tip, however you want to take it, is look around and see if you have a dumpling app near you. They do pickup, delivery, grocery shopping. They'll even get hot meals for you, but they'll also do things like take things to UPS and the post office for you. Find another boss babe, another mom boss who is trying to make her way and support her versus instant cart or something like that, where you have to shop, put different orders in for all your different stores. I put in one order with this one woman. She does all of my shopping. She'll pick up mail or things that need to ship to UPS for me. She'll pick up my dry cleaning. She does it all And I'm supporting another fellow small business owner. So I love that. The one I have, she's a single mom with 4 kids, and this allows her to work in between when her kids are in school and on the weekends and things like that. She's making an income for herself by doing that. So figure out how to do that. And honestly, it cost me less than Instacart did for the few things that I was using it for. So I get much more for much less, which smart woman with the money. So try to do that. Though all of these small little tips for planning strategies are huge in saving yourself time, making you more efficient with your time. And all I had to do is sit down for an hour a week to plan all of this out and do less. And let me believe me, I've been replacing that with some self-care things. I get my nails done, I go get a massage, I get a facial, I sit, I read a book in a corner and hide. Whatever it is you want to do and you need to do for some self time, you can find time to do it if you sit down to take the time to plan. So I'm going to focus on the meal planning aspect of this. I need to slow down talking. I talk too fast. So as a multiple owners of a business, my husband and I owned before we moved. We owned 2 other businesses together, as well as owning 3 on my own. At one point, I owned 6 businesses. I'm always doing something. I'm very ADHD, as if you can't tell. And are all of them awesome? No, I failed. I have, because you wanna know why I failed? When I have failed, it's because I failed to plan. When you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that quote, and I don't even know who said that or if anybody knows who said that. It is so true. The times I have failed epically and had problems, either personal life or my house is a disaster or my business is a disaster or any of that, is because I failed to take the time to plan and strategize. That is the biggest thing in everything that you do. It helps you with time management. It helps you with self care time. It helps you with your sanity and controlling the chaos of our lives as wives, women, moms, dog moms, working women, whatever it is, wherever you are in your business, in your life. You don't own a business, but you someday want to. You've got to plan for these things. And when you don't plan, you truly are opening yourself up for overwhelm and burnout. And almost every business owner I talk to, when I sit back down with them and that has been in that burnout mode, when we sit down to talk about it, a lot of that comes back down to planning strategies and just some simple steps to do all of those things. So really taking the time to plan to succeed and plan to control your chaos is all you need. 1 hour a week. That's not that much time. And I consider that part of my self-care time. I don't always do it in the middle of my house where all the chaos is going on. I will often go sit on my back deck. I have even sat in my car in the driveway and locked the doors and turned the music up. Whatever you need to do to get an hour by yourself to plan, do it. My sister is famously known for going and sitting in a Target parking lot. She walks in, she gets herself a Starbucks, walks back out to her car, and she's got an hour of peace and quiet. Do that. It doesn't have to really cost you anything. Again, I've said in my driveway before, whatever you need to do to get that time so you can concentrate and focus on something, get it done. Because believe me, it will create so much success and you're giving yourself time by doing this. Uh, my biz partner Gina and talks about buying back your time. You have to buy back your time. So how are you going to do it? You got to take it from somewhere else because time is money, but you don't always have the money. So if you can't afford to hire somebody else to do that thing for you, you've got to get your time somewhere else. Sometimes that means spending an hour on your time to prioritize and strategize and figure out how you're going to get it all done. There are some weeks it's still chaos and my list is longer than I can even think about getting done. But when I do that list, even if it's a complete and crazy mess, I still get it all done because I planned it out. I've strategized how the heck I'm going to get all of this stuff done, and then I'm able to get it done. So plan strategies, plan those strategies, plan that time, get it all out of your head. Don't remember. It's huge. Take my word for it. It is huge to do that. So when you're thinking about meal prep, giving you self care time. So I am a huge proponent of sitting down and planning out everything ahead of time. So I was doing some research for this webinar and for some workbooks I was creating for my shop. The average family waste $2,000 a year on buying food in the home, that 75% of that gets thrown out. $2,000 a year. $2,000 a year of waste. That's like, if 75% of that is waste, that's $1,800, $1,900 a year that you're just throwing out the window. $2,000 a year could be a small mini vacation for you and your family. $2,000 a year is many massages for mom. So think about that. But most families also spend an additional $2 to $5,000 a year on eating out because they were too tired to cook. An additional $2 to $5,000 a year. Just think if you could keep that in the under $1,000 of planning, and you're planning that as part of your food budget, how much money you could save, how many more vacations you could go on, how many more massages or getting your pedicures and manicures done. Just think about all that money that you could be wasting by buying things that you don't need, stopping at McDonald's way too often, which means you're not feeding your family healthily or yourself. You are hurting your body by not taking the time to plan these things out. With a simple plan ahead meal plan, you could save yourself time, you could save yourself money, you can eat healthier, which means you won't be as tired when you're eating badly. You eat too much sugar. My friend Rebecca Branham, that I think is doing a session here, you eat healthier, you have more energy. When you have more energy, you have more brain power. When you have more brain power, you can plan more and get ahead of these things. And if you're doing that for your whole family, they're all getting those same benefits. Kids will do better in school, everybody will sleep better. Eating healthy is a no-brainer for everybody, but finding that time is sometimes really hard. So let's dive into that. So some of my tips: pick one day a week to meal prep. So I don't quite, some people do once a week. I really do. I plan for my whole entire month of grocery shopping ahead of time. So I'm going to be recording some plan with me videos that are going to be up on my YouTube channel in the next few days. Um, Plan ahead. I plan ahead for my grocery shopping for the whole entire month. I buy as much as possible ahead of time. Now, I don't buy a ton of fresh fruits and veggies ahead of time because obviously they're going to go bad, but I try to buy as much frozen for vegetables as possible so that I just have them on hand and I don't have to go back out and go grocery shopping for those things. Usually the only thing I have to go grocery shopping for weekly are bread, milk, yogurt, cheese, those kinds of things that you can't really buy a ton ahead of time. And usually some fruit, but I even buy as much frozen fruit as possible. I tend to want to drink my fruit in smoothies versus necessarily taking the time to eat it. I'm a lazy eater. I like to drink stuff. Pick your day and go get all of that planning done. Just plan. Just do the planning. You don't have to do the shopping at the same time. I have a dedicated meal list of about 50 meals that I just pick a meal off of and I throw them in my meal planner for the month. And then I take a look at what I need for ingredients. I go through my inventory in my house, which means I'm not throwing food out very often. Um, and I'm keeping track of what I've got. So I'm being very economical and a good steward of what I do have and using that up. Um, so I look at my inventory, see what I've got, add things to the list that I need to get. Once I have things on the list, then I try to budget it out. Because if I buy a large stock of ground beef somewhere, it's usually cheaper than buying just enough for this week. The next thing I do is I sit down and I plan it out week to week. What meals am I doing for the week to week? Break it down. I'm not great at dedicating, oh, Monday we're definitely having this, and Tuesday we're definitely having this. I just make a list of meals for the week. But I do that for every week for the month. So I have them all broken down. Bring all the groceries home, put it away, package it up in your individual serving sizes. So if you need a pound of ground beef to make a dinner, put it in a pound package. If you need 3 pounds of beef in one package for a meal, put it all in one. So section things out per your serving sizes for your family. Huge tip, because then you can pull things out, throw them in the Instant Pot, throw in the oven, whatever is going to make things easier when when it's time to cook. I am a huge proponent of, I've got 10 ground beef meals this month. So, and I need 10 pounds of ground beef for that. I'll try to cook up that whole 10 pounds all at once. Usually I split it up between my 2 instant pots. I bought myself a second instant pot for this, ladies. So, no, that's not a waste because that saves me a ton of time. It takes 15 minutes for frozen ground beef to cook in the instant pot. So, I'll throw 5 pounds in each and cook all of the ground beef for the whole entire month. all at once. Why do I do this? Because it takes me the same amount of time to cook 5 pounds of ground beef as it does to cook 1 pound of ground beef. I'm saving myself time, which buys my time back so I can spend it on myself or other things that I wanna spend it on later in the month. You're buying back your time by doing some batch prepping. And I'm not a huge person to go and do all my batch cooking for the whole entire month. I do know women who do that, and that's great. I don't like to do that. So if I'm having tacos tonight, I'm going to make all of the meat I need for the whole entire month, whether it's taco meat or not. The flavoring comes last. I cook it all up so it's all cooked, portion it back out into my sizes. Yes, it's okay to reuse those bags. People give me a break. I've lived in an African jungle. You're not going to die from poisoning if you're going to recook that meat again. If you pulled it out of a bag that was raw and put it back in cooked and you're popping it back in your freezer, you're going to be fine. Take my word for it. I've done it for 20 something years. I'm not dead. Neither is anybody in my family. Um, Make sure you pop them all back in your individual serving sizes, maybe label them if you need to. And then all you've got to do is pull them out and thaw them and heat them up with and add whatever sauce you need to make to go over the top of them. We eat a ton of mac and cheese, cheesy beef, tacos, burritos, all of those kinds of things. So all I'm doing is adding sauces each time. My meal prep time, the first week of the month is usually a bit more. I'll cook all of my meat for the month, all my pasta. I bought myself a huge pasta pan so I could cook 3 pounds of pasta all at once and split it up and have 3 meals worth of pasta cooked all at once. All of my rice for the month, I cook it all at once. Um, Potatoes, I cook all at once for the whole entire month. They do store in your fridge for about 3 weeks without a problem after they're fully cooked, so you can pull them back out, mash them, roast them, whatever you're gonna do. I really try to do as much of this stuff ahead of time in that first week. So my first week of the month, I'm really busy with my cooking, but it still takes me the same amount of time as it would for making just 1 whole week of meals anyway. So it's not crazy. But the next 3 weeks, I'm maybe spending 15 minutes a night making full healthy meals for my family because I've pre-cooked all of the things that I need to pre-cook all in the first week. And sometimes we decide to eat out a little more often, or we have a special dinner come up, or whatever. So I already have those things pre-cooked in the freezer. And usually I will about every 2 months, I'll have a whole week where I don't have to grocery shop again. I don't have to do anything because I'm using up all of those items. That's why I do that inventory because I may already have items that are already cooked and ready for me and everything in my freezer before I do all my final planning and my shopping. And my waste is very, very little when I do that because I'm being economical, I'm planning, I'm keeping ahead of and keeping on top of everything. If I have a night that I'm sick, when my son was young, he could pull those bags of things out of the freezer and make whatever he wanted with them because the cheese sauce for mac and cheese was already done. There's always pasta or rice or something made, and there's already some sort of a meat, chicken or beef or pork or whatever already all made. So even an 8-year-old could pull everything out, throw it in little portions in the microwave, heat it up, and he has dinner. My husband could do that. I could do that if we had something, an emergency come up and we had a million things to do. All of these things are super easy and give you back time. Now, during the summer, we do a ton of hot dogs and hamburgers and things like that. So I will actually cook a ton of that stuff ahead of time, refreeze them. So all I gotta do is throw them on the grill and reheat them. Um, it works great, and it keeps my cook time to 15 minutes or less. And for 90% of my meals, that's always my goal is 15 minutes or less. It saves so much time, and we're eating healthy. We're eating a very healthy meal, vegetables, a meat, a vegetable, and a starch of some sort. We usually have fruit around to eat, like frozen fruit and smoothies and yogurts and things like that. In our snack, I even plan out our snacks. All of these things make life easy, buys you back time so that you can use it where you want to use it. Where's your self care that you want to use it at? For me, it's always a massage, a facial, or getting my nails done. I'm always going to spend time on that. Sometimes it's reading a book, sitting in a corner and reading a book. Sometimes it's going and taking a walk and not having to worry about anything. And almost all of my meals I plan ahead. I have most everything can get thrown in the instant pot now. Once the meat's cooked, I could throw the meat, frozen meat that's already been pre-cooked, frozen meat, frozen rice. You just got to add a little more water and whatever flavorings I wanted to. Throw it all in the Instant Pot. Close the lid. 5 minutes later, well, it takes about 5 minutes to build up the pressure in an Instant Pot. 5 minutes later, everything's ready. Pop it open. So 10 minutes at most to make a whole entire dinner. That means I don't have to really be planning ahead because I have already done the planning ahead. If I change my mind what I want to eat tonight, if I decide that, hey, let's eat early so we can go out and do whatever, or we're going to eat super late. I can set all of those things in a crock pot, instant pot, whatever, walk away and not worry about it. Um, I will admit that I kind of miss doing the crock pot thing all the time because my house smelled better with the crock pot than it does with the instant pot. So that's the only complaint I have about the instant pot is your house doesn't smell as good. Um, so think about how you can buy yourself time. If you're a busy mom, busy woman, busy wife, busy entrepreneur, all of these things, it just takes some planning strategy to be able to buy yourself back time. I buy myself so much time. So what do I spend a week doing all of my planning? I spend an hour a week doing all of my business planning. I spend probably about a half hour a week doing my personal planning, just making sure I'm not missing any doctor's appointments or anything my husband needs help with or whatever needs to be done. I spend an hour a month doing all my planning for my shopping. And then that first week of the month, I'm probably spending 45 minutes a night cooking versus the 15 minutes that I do the rest of the month. That's all of my time for planning. Once I have everything planned out and strategized, and I decide who's delegating to what and what I'm doing. Am I doing Walmart pickup? Am I doing Instacart? Am I using Dumpling? What am I doing to go get all of these things done? I buy my self back so much time. I work easily 60 hours a week with everything I do, but I buy myself so much time so that 60 hours a week doesn't turn into 90 trying to get my house clean and trying to get all of these things done because I have a planning strategy in lists and excuse me, checklists and everything for cleaning my house so that I stay on top of things. That's how I'm able to do all that I do as an ADHD, the ultimate ADHD business owner, wife, mom, all of those things. If you have some really strong planning strategies, you can do anything. I promise. You could do 9 million things. You can have kids in different sports and going 12 different directions every single night and still eat a healthy meal. It is possible. Now, I'm not going to say we don't end up at McDonald's every once in a while. Last night was Zaxby's for us because everybody decided nobody wanted what was in the house. We're at the end of the month for the 29th. So we wanted to get all of those things in and done. No, nobody wanted to eat what was here. We were all bored with it, so we ate out. That's okay once in a while. My budget for eat out for the whole entire year is $1,000 for fast food. That's for a family of 3 adults, $1,000 a month. That's really not too or excuse me, $1,000 a year. That's not too bad. Average family spends between 2 and $5,000 a year wasting money on eating out because they're too tired or too burnt out. How can you save yourself time? How can you create some amazing self-care strategies that can include spending money because you've been on a great budget for your household for all your food. So now you've got more money to do some of those self-care things. Or it could mean that you just need more time to yourself to do something else. Start a new business, create something that's your favorite hobby, read a book, whatever that is. Self-care creates time, creates patience, and creates a healthier you. Even if your self care includes sitting down and watching a movie and eating popcorn, believe it or not, that still takes care of you and creates some healthy patterns in your life. So, how are you going to create those healthy patterns for yourself? Today, I'm offering you two workbooks and a freebie. I have a free 30-day meal planner with a grocery shopping list and everything for it, with a weekly meal planner and budget planner. And then I have an ebook and a workbook, How to Prep for More Free Time. Meal prep equals self care. I've got two books for you there and two freebies. So I'm so glad that you joined me today. Again, my name is Danielle Ralston. You could find me over at notyourpinterestmom.com. You can find me on Instagram at notyourpinterestmom. You can find me on Instagram at the Rockstar CEO in my other job. I am so happy to have been here today. Thank you for having me. And I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week, and can create amazing month with healthy meals, more self-care, and less chaos in your life. Again, I'm Danielle Ralston from Be Boss Girl, the Rockstar CEO, and not your Pinterest mom. Have a great day.